Hi, I'm Robert, and today I'm going to show you how to take this image of Yorba Regional Park from here to here, all in Lightroom. This isn't a seascape like my normal images, but it does have water in it. I took this image at Yorba Regional Park. My goal was to smooth out the water as much as I could. I didn't bring my ND filter with me, since I thought I was just taking a stroll around the park. I wasn't really planning on shooting, but I liked the scene, so I did. Let's take a look at the settings real quick here. Without the ND filter, I still wanted to get a long exposure, so I stopped all the way down to f22. Closing your aperture all the way is going to result in less sharpness, but in this case, we gained shutter speed. So it was a trade-off I was willing to make. Even at f22, I was only able to get 3.2 second shutter speed. But as you can see, that was enough to smooth out the water nicely. It was already a very calm lake. If this was the ocean and not a lake, 3.2 seconds wouldn't have been long enough to get this kind of look. If you really want to smooth out the ocean, you need to at least do 15 seconds, 30 seconds preferred. Let's get started editing this image. We'll start at the bottom like we always do. Make sure you're on the current version. We're going to skip vignetting for now. Maybe we'll come back to it. Let's zoom in, click on constrain crop, and straighten our image. That looks good. Now we're going to scroll up, click on these two boxes, remove chromatic aberrations, and enable profile corrections. The profile corrections fix the barrel distortion caused by the Tokina 11-16. Next, we'll go up to sharpening, do our standard sharpening routine of 100, and adding a mask. Hold down the Alt key so we can see our mask. And let's sharpen everything except for the sky and the water. Let's scroll up. We're going to skip this section for now and go up to the basic panel. Let's open this image up, bring our highlights down and our shadows up. Our histogram is far to the left, so let's move it to the right, bringing the white point up. We'll bring it up till it clips and then back it down. We're going to do the same with the black points. Bring it down till you clip, then bring it back up. So we're at 55 on the white point and 15 on the black point. This stretches our histogram out, so now we're from the left to the right. It also adds contrast to your image. The image looked bright enough before we were moving the white point up, but if you went to go print this image, it would have been too dark. Next, let's work on the sky. We're going to go down to Luminance. Luminance is how bright or dark a color is. Let's darken up the blue sky. And let's add some saturation back into that blue color. So that'll be our base for our sky. Now let's go up, grab a grad tool, and pull it down over our sky so we can do some more work on it. Hold down the shift key to straighten out our line. I only want to work on the blue areas. So let's go down here to range mask, select range mask, color, and then grab the eyedropper. Click the eyedropper on a blue area right about here. Now we only have the blue color selected. We can press O for our overlay to see what's being affected. Right now everything's being affected, including the white clouds. So let's move the slider around like this. And you can see the areas that are now being affected. There's only the blue areas. So we'll move it to right about here. We can turn off our overlay now that we're happy with the areas that are going to be affected. I wanted to leave the white clouds white. Now to further enhance the sky, let's go up. We'll get our temperature and we'll bring it down a little bit to make it more blue. And we'll add a little bit of saturation into the blue. So now our sky looks a lot nicer. We can take a look at the before and after. Here's how it was before, pretty washed out. And after, we have a nice blue color in the sky. Let's close our grad tool and grab the spot removal tool. We have visualize spots turned on. If you don't, just be sure to click on this button or press T for toolbar to bring up the toolbar, then click on the box. You can see we have a few spots of dust in the water, so let's take care of that. Drag it closer. Let's remove this one and this last one. I don't see any dust in the sky, so we're done with the spot removal tool. Let's go down to our HSL panel and do a little more fine tuning. We have a lot of orange and yellow coming through that looks a little unnatural, so I'm going to bring it down. I'm just going to adjust the saturation for the orange and yellow, bringing it down a little bit to muting it out. You can see our foreground rocks also now look better. They're less orange and more natural looking. Let's bring out some texture in our foreground. Grab our brush, brush in our rocks, press down O for overlay so we can see where we're working. We have auto mask on, makes it easy so we don't spill over on the edges. If you do spill over, just hold down Alt. It'll turn your brush into an eraser. Let's press O, turn off our overlay, and bring up the texture. Bringing texture to our foreground adds a lot of sharpness through the picture. Your eye is first drawn in through the foreground and then through the image to our background. That was a quick and easy edit using the range mask on a graduated filter tool. In future videos, we'll be using it even more. Let's close out on our brush, bring up our rule of thirds tool, and let's take a look at our composition. We have our horizon on the top third line, and we have the main rock down here on the bottom third. The most intense color is up in this area from the sunset, so we're looking from bottom right to top left. So we're looking from front to back and from side to side. I carefully position the camera in a way where we just have a little bit of rock here. If I were to move the camera up slightly forward, we could have got rid of this rock, but I like it anchoring our bottom left corner. So next time you go to the park, bring your camera, maybe you can get a good image too. Try and go during sunset for the best light. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks.